Hello, thank you for taking a moment to watch this video and get caught up on some of the announcements and news taking place at Faith Baptist Church. About 2 weeks ago, we canceled all of our in-person services here at the church and have been live streaming only on all of our service times due to a COVID-19 case that was in one of the families of our church. Since that time, there have been several families that have been exposed to COVID-19. And since being exposed to it, several of those family members have tested positive for it. These have all taken place outside of our church family primarily, and it's through other people's work and things like this. But had we been having church services, then just the timing of these tests and exposures, our church would have been exposed to it. It is with all of that in mind, I have had to make a very difficult decision on what we're going to be doing moving forward. I've spoken with several of our church officers today, as well as some other folks, just to get their opinions, some people in the medical field, and just to kind of see what they would recommend. And I think we're all in agreement that while it's not preferable, it would be responsible and right to push back our in-person services even farther, just to try to limit the exposure of our church families to COVID-19. There have been several churches in our area. There are two of my dear pastor friends in the area that they, not just their churches are seeing a spike, but they themselves and their families are also suffering with COVID-19. And one church has had 29 cases of it. The other church, I just spoke with the pastor this afternoon, and there are almost 24 cases in that church as well. And so it's in our area, and it's been a spike not just in churches, but just in the Jackson and Washtenaw County area. There's been an enormous spike in the last few days. With all of that in mind, we have decided to push back resuming our in-person services until the end of this month. November 29th is the last Sunday of November. That will be our tentative starting date for our in-person services. That's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and I've chosen that Sunday in order to try to help and safeguard as many of your family Thanksgiving get-togethers as we can. I would hate for there to be a major outbreak in the church and then that have an effect on your family Thanksgiving. I believe this will be the smartest and wisest thing to do. And so having said all of that, not only are we pushing back our in-person services, we're also canceling our harvest dinner, which is going to be on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. That is now canceled. And our James Knox special services are also going to be canceled. We have advertised the James Knox services, and Brother Knox himself has been advertising that. I've been contacted by several people in other states, as well as others from other churches in our state that were planning on coming to that meeting. And I believe that would just create a risk that is unacceptable at this time. And so we'll be canceling that service, at least in the live format form, I guess. If that changes, I'll make sure I keep you updated. But right now, we're canceling those services. In addition to those cancellations, we're changing our Sunday schedule just a little bit. Our Sunday schedule up to this point has been Sunday morning service at 11, Sunday evening service at 6. What we're going to be doing is having a different kind of Sunday morning service. It'll be expanded a little bit, and I'll say more about that in the coming weeks. But we'll be expanding that a little bit, but it will still be at 11 a.m., but there will be no online evening service on Sundays. Instead, we'll be trying to schedule some of our kids' classes and youth group classes to take place on Zoom during the normal Sunday evening time. And so let me just restate that. On Sunday morning, we will still be having live stream services at 11 a.m. and then Sunday afternoon or evening. Right now, we're planning on 6 p.m. That time may get changed a little bit, but we'll be having some Zoom classes for our children and teenagers. Again, we'll try to announce these things a little bit clearer for you on Sunday, and you can watch those services, and I'll try to answer some of those questions for you. This is not at all what any of us wanted or thought would happen at this point. It just is what it is, and we're just trying to roll with the punches And I'm sure you understand. This is not going to be what maybe you would have done, but I promise you from my position and in trying to weigh everything out, I believe that this is the right thing to do. There's a phone number and email address on your screen right now. Feel free to call or email me if you have questions or suggestions for me at this time. I'll be happy to listen to those. Now, when we do reopen and resume our in-person services, we'll have some precautions in place and some different things. We'll say more about that as well. Now, while this is kind of a sad announcement in a lot of ways, let me tell you this. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we have got some exciting things going to be starting at Faith Baptist Church. And I have tried to wait. I was talking with a couple of our deacons earlier today, and I was telling one of them that I've tried to wait until this COVID-19 has passed and we can get on with life as normal and ministry as normal, and it's just not happening, and I don't see a need to wait any longer. And so we're going to move forward with some projects that we had planned that we being online will not stop us. Very exciting things. I can't get into all that right now, but you'll want to make sure you're watching the services at the coming weeks just to make sure you know what's going on and then know how you can get involved and participate in some of these things. If you have questions, let me know. And then I would ask you to please be in prayer for our brothers and sisters in Christ that are in other churches. Now, the COVID cases that we've experienced here are not as a result of Faith Baptist Church. These are cases that have happened outside through contacts at work and school and different activities. And so we're thankful that by the grace of God, we've been able to limit the exposure here at church. But the reality is that's not the case in every church. And so there are some churches in our area, several churches in our area, but a couple that we're very close with that are being hit very hard right now with COVID-19. So I would ask you to please remember to pray for them, ask God to be gracious to them and help them recover quickly. I love you, and I hope this has been a help to you. If you do have questions, make sure you let us know. Lord willing, we'll continue to move forward for the cause of Christ, and I hope that you will plan on being a part of every service that you possibly can so that you're up to date with what we're doing and why we're doing it. I love you. I hope you have a great day.